Ricky, how are you?
Yeah, good, great to be here. You know, what a time to be a heavyweight boxer in this country.
And it just, yeah, we seem to be producing all the decent heavyweights around at the moment.
Without doubt, on the world stage, we're up there, and obviously, domestically, with world class potential. It's a great time for British boxing. It's amazing how, no disrespect, a few years ago, nobody knew who a British fighter actually was, and now we've got so many. It's such a great time.
And it's been quite a long time coming, this fight. You've been talking about it for years.
Nathan's been talking about it since the day he walked through me gym, and we've asked for it. We've asked Frank for it. I think he got put forward for the British title eliminator. Not long back, we accepted it, and Frank knocked it back at the time. Obviously, Frank's got the promotional side of things, in order to deal with. But people say, why is it happening for the British title? It's a little bit too soon. And maybe it is a little bit too soon, with the amount of fights that the lads have had. But if you win a British title these days, it's a lot more prestigious than it was in years gone back, and that's no disrespectful to anyone. I mean, you look at so many the type fighters we've got on the world level: Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, this country, Dylan White, Derek Chisora, Dave Allen, Daniel Dubois, Joe Joyce, Nathan Gorman. The British title, you win that, you've earned it. You know what I mean? Because there's so many great fighters out there, and it's not just the lovely Lonsdale belt that's at stake. It's what doors can be opened from a win here, isn't it? Bearing in mind all the British fighters I've just mentioned here.
Yeah, I mean, looking beyond this fight, I know I'll talk about the actual fight in a second, but what's the aim, say, by this time next year for Nathan?
Well, I think you've got to take the opportunities when they come along. I've got to accept when an opportunity comes, a British title fight or a European title fight, whatever, that it's the right fight for me, lad. And it has happened a little bit sooner than we'd have probably thought. I think I speak for both teams, really, when I say that. But I accepted it because I think my lads were going to win. And I think Nathan's got the ability, the speed, the boxing brain, the movement. He will, with his ability, speed and movement, he will make Dubois miss. I think all of us can agree on that. And I think when Daniel Dubois, he's not the most elusive himself. He can get hit. And I think if Nathan comes back with mean intentions, which is what we're working on, I only see it one way. But we know we've got a tough task in front of our hands. I mean, look at the size of the man. But I just think my lad's got more in his armoury. That's why I accepted it.
The way you describe the fight unfolding there, or how you think it unfolds, sounds a bit like Fury Wilder. You got Wilder, who's supposedly hits the hardest on the planet, but as Fury says, you can't knock down what you can't hit.
Yeah, but what we're all going to be working on, is different. Is just to make Daniel miss, which we're going to have to do because he's so big, strong, formidable, heavy-handed. So we've got to use that speed and movement in order to make him miss. But there's no point if you make him miss and come back with rat-a-tat-tat-tat-tat punches. Daniel will just keep on coming. So what we're working on is the oldest saying in boxing: make him miss and make him pay, and hit him with mean intentions. And he has been tottered here and there. So I'm thinking, we need to make him miss and we need to come back with something solid. And if we do, and just and the right punches there, I'd like to think we'd come out on top.
And what sort of sparring partners can we expect to come in for Nathan? Any big names coming in there?
Well, we're actually looking at about 6 or 7 different sparring partners, and just to do like a couple of rounds apiece, one jump in, the other one get out, then send another one in. They get out, send another one in, and they'll only be doing 2 or 3 rounds at a time, so they're fresh, and they'll be told obviously to jump all over Nathan. And we'll be working on this and give ground, make him miss. But when you make him miss, make him pay. He's got to hit Daniel with something significant to get the respect of him and make him stop in his tracks. If he makes him miss, and gives him a little, a few little arm shot ticklers, it's not going to work against Daniel. And we think we've got a game plan in our mind, and I think it'll be the right one on the night.
Yeah, Nathan thinks he's going to knock him out, basically. I mean, even though, I don't think the last 3 or 4 fights he hasn't managed to do that, has he?
No, but I mean, to be 3 or 4 fights, they've been looking to come and survive. And I'll be honest with you, Nathan's lost interest a little bit, which I'm not too happy about. But in this fight, he won't get the chance to lose interest. The 2 lads in his fights that have put it on him, Sokolowski, who he boxed in his third fight, who's beat a few unbeaten prospects, to be honest with you. And he knocked him out in the second round, I think, second or third round. And Sean Turner, who said, "Come and stand with me, you little whippersnapper," what Nathan did with Sean. And he brought the best out of him. And I think Nathan will look better against opponents such as Daniel Dubois style, as these people that are jabbing, moving, holding and hitting and looking to survive. I think they'll bring the best out of Nathan.
Yeah, and do you think, I mean, this fight's clearly got an extra edge, whatever anybody says. Do you think that's going to squeeze that extra 5% out of Nathan?
I don't think it's personalities where there was a bit of rivalry in the Great Britain GB squad. I think they're both in the same weight division, striving to get to the number one spot. So obviously there's going to be competition, isn't there? I don't think it's anything personal, you know. If I had a rival, you know, that was trying to beat me to number one squad, I wouldn't be sending him Christmas cards. You know what I mean? So it's so I don't think it's anything personal. I think they were rivals back then, and it just so happens they've turned pro and they're rivals again, isn't it? You know. So finally we're going to get to the bottom of it.
And Daniel said it's going to be the easiest fight he's had. I mean, do you think he's joking there?
Well, the thing is with boxing, people try and say certain things in order to sell tickets or worry the opponent or this or that. From day one, I've never needed to sell tickets. I've never slagged an opponent. I've never, I say it the way it is because, it's what I believe. You always get an honest decision from Ricky Hatton, and I believe I've got the best man. I think he wins by knockout. I truly believe that, and I think if you know Ricky Hatton, you know that I don't do BS.